Hi everyone, Marcel back here with The Pulse. A viewer sent me a link to a video which was from the Matt Caberline podcast. Now, I'm not going to share the link, but I'll share a screenshot and you can look up the video yourself. I am not inclined to promote Dr. Caberline because I don't believe in his tactics. What I tell you, what I'm about to tell you, is coming from my own perception of what's going on between Dr. Caberline, Dr. Sinclair, and certainly others in the longevity field and how they battle for funds and fight over attention. The problem that I have with each of them, I want to spell out for you today. One of the big problems in credibility and why I have a real struggle here with both of these gentlemen. From my own perspective, I'm speaking from my perspective, looking at everything, also from the perspective that I followed Sinclair's suggestions. 3 years ago, started taking NMN full-time. I dabbled with it before, but was given a fake, sold a fake on Amazon, which I've talked about. And I began to have immediate results. One thing I probably haven't shed a lot of light on that I want to talk about more today is the risk versus reward factor. And I'm going to get back to Dr. Caberline just in a moment here. It was almost frustrating to me to get results taking NMN because it meant I'm going to have to buy into this and keep taking it. I feel so great and it's so promising that the reward is worth taking some risk. I just don't know, nor has anyone stated fully what those risks are. I'm just not a person who's inclined to take risks by taking a large amount of a molecule like NMN or any of the things that I take. I think they all come with risks. And I'm sensitive to that. And I probably come across as a supplement guy or someone that's not nervous about taking supplements, but the opposite is true. I've always been very nervous about it. Matter of fact, that's why I've gone to such lengths to exercise, eat a proper diet, get enough sleep, drink a lot of water. I've really gone at this with a very aggressive approach towards being healthy because I think there are risks, and I do believe there are risks when you're going to take large amounts of anything. Too much of anything can be dangerous. That's the bottom line. So when I listen to these guys, I do pay attention. I don't watch the science ongoing, but I do check in on the science. There were 2 more studies, for example, posted this month, and they're on nmn.com on their homepage, showing positive benefits, positive results in these studies related to NMN and stress, related to aging adults, relating to the quality of their sleep and the quality of their walking, all improved by taking NMN. So there are positive studies out there, and I do watch them and I check in on them, but I don't live by them. I've had 3 great years taking NMN. I'm at a point in my life where I'm evaluating everything again. I'm going to get all my blood levels checked. I'm going to get my NAD levels checked again. I'm in the middle of a self-evaluation process to see how I'm going to continue over the next 3 years. If you would have told me 3 years ago, you're going to have 3 great youthful years to spend with your family and do all kinds of active things and live a great productive life, but we can't guarantee you anything beyond those 3 years. In fact, you're likely to begin declining. I would have to be honest with you and say I'd probably take that deal knowing what I know now. I would take that risk. I did take a risk then, and I guess what I'm saying is I feel like it was worth it, and even not knowing what the next 3 years are going to bring. Now, I'm inclined to think I'll keep feeling better because I felt better every year I took NMN. I think it's partly because of the supplement routine, the other things that I take as well. Also, the fact that I'm living so extremely healthy or trying my best through diet, exercise, and sleep to live a healthy life. I'll throw in one more note about sleep. I mentioned that I don't nap. I don't nap much. I used to have to nap 2-3 hours a day just to revive myself enough to be able to work again at night. Now, sometimes I do feel the need for a nap, and it lasts about 30 minutes. So it's not all the time, and it's much shorter, and I feel invigorated from the nap. So I don't want to say that I never nap. It's part of my sleep management, in other words. I will take a nap if I feel I need a nap. It's just 20 to 30 minutes as opposed to 2 to 3 hours. So take that for what it's worth. I think it's important. I think sleep management is important to health. Get to bed at a good hour. Be consistent about it. Don't sleep too long in the morning. I end up feeling worse if I sleep too long. So I do get up usually around the same time, 6, 7 in the morning. And I try to get to bed by 11, 11:30 at the latest. So I get a decent night's sleep for an aging adult who's turning 60 this year. Now, Matt Kaberlein in his video talks again about the potential consequences of taking NAD boosters and how it might be negative. Now, he's not studying this himself. He's taking the time out of his own schedule from his own lab work to talk about another study, a study which casts some risks towards associated with taking NAD boosters, in that the kidneys in mice could become damaged from excessive NAD boosters. Why would he take all this time is the first question I have. Why are you taking time out of your schedule to talk about a study that you didn't do yourself when you are a scientist, just to disparage NAD boosters or to try to throw a wrench in David Sinclair? Or he specifically talks about NMN companies and suggests or implies that, can you really trust them? They should be looking into this more, when all of the safety and health studies have been positive towards NMN. Again, 2 studies coming out just this month, and there are a stack of studies showing positive benefits and a very good safety record. So why is he anti-NMN? And why is he anti-NMN for dogs? I would be more inclined to find Dr. Kaberlein credible if he would openly disclose that he's the founder and co-director of the Dog Project, which gives drugs to dogs. He takes money from the government. It's funded by grants. He gives drugs to dogs and tests them. Then he disparages people who give NAD boosters to dogs without disclosing in that same moment that he gives drugs to dogs. And that's why I found his initial comments about Sinclair to be non-credible, right? You have a dog in the race, literally, when you're giving rapamycin, when you're taking public money, our money, and you're funding your own lab, which, by the way, isn't really his own lab. It's housed at the University of Washington Medical Center. None of these scientists are business people. None of them, they say, in my lab. They all say in my lab. But it's housed at a university and it's funded by the government or corporations or drug companies. So it's never really their lab. They're not business people per se. They're scientists. I'm not trying to say they aren't important. I'm saying that as an independent person trying to navigate how to age better, I'm looking at these people and they both have credibility issues. Basically because Kaberlein doesn't disclose that he's running a drugs for dog program funded by the government. And then he disparages giving supplements to dogs. I find that disturbing. On the other hand, Dr. Sinclair tends to put his own foot in his mouth. And he does this in a couple ways. First of all, he overstates the case. What I've talked to many people who've given NMN to dogs, and they begin to be more youthful. They run around more just as adults do. Like, we take NMN, we feel better. We have more focus, we have more energy. We're waiting for more science to support what exactly is going on, but we feel better. So we weigh the risks versus rewards and we proceed from there, budget permitting. Some of us have the budget to give NMN to our dogs. And I've heard from many people firsthand that they've given NMN to their dogs and they've acted more youthful at 12, 13, 14 years old. So it's interesting. If they have the budget and they see the results, they're going to give it to their dogs. But that doesn't mean that they've reversed the dog's age. And that's where Sinclair gets over the top. He's prone to hyperbole. He'll say, well, we've reversed age in dogs. Well, have you really? If they're just being more youthful, have you actually reversed their age? So he damages his own credibility and the credibility of NMN in the process. Then there's the other problem, huge problem that I have with what Sinclair is doing with his supplement for dogs. In one breath, he's saying NMN doesn't meet the definition along with the FDA. I know the FDA is the one that said this, but his company submitted the paperwork to make NMN an exclusive drug and encouraged the FDA to take action. So in one breath, he's taking action to take NMN off the market as a supplement. Then in the next breath, he's promoting giving NMN as a supplement to dogs. You can't have it both ways, Dr. Sinclair. You can't say it's good enough for dogs, as a supplement, but people have to get a prescription. It just doesn't wash. And if I'm at the FDA and I'm watching this all unfold, this whole drama with Caberline and Sinclair, and I'm going, do I really want to help promote this guy's intentions to take an ingredient off the market that over 1 million people are actively taking? Are we going to remove this from the market when he's selling it to dog owners as a supplement? It doesn't really wash. One doesn't wash with the other. So you have Caberline not disclosing that he's a drugs for dog doctor. And then you have Sinclair overstating the case, saying that, making exaggerated claims that he's reversed aging in dogs. Yet we can't have that substance as a supplement. Only dogs can have it. I mean, neither one of these guys comes across as very credible to me. So I'm sitting back here trying to figure out what to do, right? I'm just trying to figure out and reevaluate what to do. And I am paying attention when they say there may be dangers or dangers to your kidneys, but I haven't experienced any negative impacts yet from taking NMN. It's been all positive for me personally. Another thing I'll bring up is over 10,000 people have used the code ThePulse to purchase NMN through DoNotAge in the past 3 years. I'm not hearing about kidney failure. I'm not hearing from any number of people, really, that they're having negative consequences from taking NMN. You would think hundreds or even dozens of people would be experiencing some negative consequences now, taking it for 2+ years or 3 full years. Some started taking right when I did or right after. Some people who watch this channel have been taking NMN for 5 to 7 years, and they're not reporting negative impacts. Now, you can tell me that's not science all you want, but if people are taking a substance, feeling better, thinking better, moving around better, and the numbers are in the thousands, and we're not seeing negative impacts from these viewers who come up here regularly and comment, you can't tell me that's not statistically significant, because it certainly seems to be to me. And now I guess there are scientists out there that are going to argue it's not significant. And okay, fair enough to you. But to me, how I feel is not nothing. It's everything. It is what gets me up in the morning. It's what gets me through my day. It's what inspires me to live healthier. How I feel to me is everything. And I feel great taking NMN. And so therefore, even through Sinclair's shenanigans, maybe he is a snake oil salesman. Maybe he is ultimately. At the same time, I followed his routine. It works for me. It's working for over 10,000 people here. So I think he's prone to hyperbole. I think he overstates his case for his own financial benefit. And looking at Dr. Caberline, who has criticized, he used to work together on projects with Sinclair. Now he's criticizing Sinclair when it's expedient, when it's convenient, when it threatens his own dog project, and then doesn't bring up his dog project. So at the end of it, I don't know who to believe. So I have some limited trust in Sinclair. I pay attention to Caberline. I'm at least listening to the things he's saying. I'm not ignoring him. I very much trust Dr. Vera Gorbanova. And based on my own results, I'm trusting DoNotAge and where they've led me so far, because it has led me to a positive place. So more to come. I'll keep reporting results to you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.